again. And great to be with this group, special group. So thank you for joining. And it's very interesting because, well, family constellations are more and more known all over the world, actually. Um, and what I have found is that it's so interesting to apply this technique, this modality, also to businesses. And not only to corporate businesses about takeovers or mergers and acquisitions, but also to medium enterprises, to about leadership, marketing, maybe how to structure processes even, or even what building to renovate. But you can also apply it to very small solopreneurs, family businesses. So it's really a modality. What I like it so much because it brings up what's underneath the surface, what everybody can actually taste and smell and sense, but it's not visible yet. And with a constellation, we make it visible, tangible, and I also use like visualizations, meditations, but if I do that in a business context, people get a little bit uneasy. And this modality makes it very easy. Well, they have to stand up and they have to move around, but that's all. So it's a actually low entrance modality for businesses, but then you can bring in all this alternative work and this more intuitive modalities and help them to really grow and really change their business. So that's what I like about constellation work, and especially to apply it in businesses because there are so many different applications. In the training that I will give, I will explain more and more about the different applications, but for now, I would like to do a marketing constellation with you. And well, I assume all of you know a little bit about family constellations, have experienced the family constellation. And well, I had many teachers. There was one teacher who was my first, and I learned a lot from her, a lot of also about intuition in constellations. But I also learned from all kinds of different schools, different trainers, different facilitators. And that's also why I use constellations in many different forms. So one of the forms is that you have somebody with a question, for example, a marketing question, and we do a constellation for this person. But right now, what I would like to do is that all of you do a constellation at the same time. For this, because sometimes, and I will do that, I think in May in the workshop, that I put you in some breakout rooms, and there you're going to experience with real persons as representative, that you're going to experience the constellation. But for now, I would like to do it in your own room. So you will need like 3-4 pieces of paper that you can put on the floor. I always like to work with floor markers, that I call them. But if you don't have space, you can also put it on the table. But well, it's more powerful if you can do it on the floor. So you need 3-4 pieces of paper. And on one piece of paper, you write your company name. Let's make it a complete company constellation. That's interesting. You write your company name. And then on the other one, you write my ideal clients or the ultimate clients for my company. So we make it really a dream come true. If these clients come to you, that's perfect. So it's your company, the ideal clients for your company. And then there is a third marker which says it's something about marketing, but I think marketing is too technical. So let's say the bridge to this group. So the bridge between your company and the ideal potential client. So it's the bridge. You just write bridge. You don't have to know what it is, just write bridge. And the fourth, and we're going to add that later, the fourth is going to be constellation work in general. Constellation work. Could be family, business, whatever. So you have 4 pieces of paper, one with the company name, one with ideal clients for my company, one with the bridge, and one with constellation work. And when I work with these floor markers, I always ask you to imagine that you're placing people, because that's actually always the basis for what we do. And when we place people, they also have a direction. So I want you to write an arrow or maybe write eyes or a nose on the piece of paper so you know which way they are facing. So we have four pieces of paper with a direction. And then you put them on the floor. And if you cannot work on the floor, you can also do it in your mind's eye. So that's also interesting. Then you just close your eyes and you imagine the four people standing in a room or somewhere in nature, wherever you want to be. So you place the four markers and just intuitively place them where you feel they belong right now. And imagine four people standing there, facing a certain direction, and you start stepping on your own piece of paper. Or no, the company, because we don't have yourself. That's also what we do with business constellations. We don't always bring in the person himself. So for the ones that just joined, welcome. We're doing a small constellation. You need four pieces of paper with your company, your ideal clients, the bridge, and constellation work. And you put them on the floor as if you were placing four people in your room. And then you step on the piece of paper representing your company. So this is already interesting because now you can sense, what is my company sensing? What is it feeling? What is it thinking? What does it want? So it's a very good way to connect with your company. And if you do it on the table, then you touch the piece of paper for your company. And if you do it in your mind's eye, you can just ask your company, how are you doing? What do you want to show me? So you don't become your company, but you just ask the person representing your company. And here you can see, how do you relate to the others? So how do you relate to constellation work? How do you relate to the bridge? How do you relate to the ideal clients? And I always say, keep on breathing, because sometimes we might encounter a little bit of tension, and then it's good to breathe like, oh, these clients are scarier than I thought. Or maybe, whoa, I feel a lot of energy coming from the constellation work. So just breathe in and breathe out, whatever happens. And maybe you also feel a movement in your body, and then you move the piece of paper to the place your body wants to be. And this is not about fixing things. It's not about wanting to change the world. It is about exploring what the field, what the undercurrent wants to show in this constellation to you. And then I would like you to step off this piece of paper or release it, and then move to the piece of paper representing your ideal potential clients. Those clients that really are fun, give you a lot of money, are always happy with what you do, and you can really bring value to them. Step on that piece of paper or touch the piece of paper or ask in your visualization, ask this person, what are you experiencing here and how do you relate to the others? So now you really step into the shoes of your potential client. So this is also very interesting to note what do they want from me, from my company? Are they looking at the constellation work or not? Do they feel related to the bridge, or do they really want my company? How do they relate to me and to the other elements? And maybe you can even sense, oh, it's this type of client, or it is this kind of issues they have in their bodies. So you can also already sense what it is that they need. Tashita, welcome, and we are doing a small constellation about marketing for your company. So, well, just maybe you can just listen, or you write 4 pieces of paper, your company, ideal clients, constellation work, and the bridge between the company and the client. And then you put them on the floor. Okay. And so maybe also when you step on this position or that floor marker of the potential clients, the ideal clients, you can also maybe feel a movement. And you don't understand maybe, but just If there's a movement in your body, follow it. And if you do it in your mind's eye, you can ask the representative for the ideal clients, do you want to move? But maybe they already moved in your constellation in the head. So here you can also already sense, how do your ideal clients relate to business constellation or to constellation work? So is this something they would appreciate, that they are attracted to or not? In what way they are attracted? And then you step off this piece of paper, and then you step on the marketing, the bridge. So this is where you can sense, okay, how do I bridge this? How do I connect my business with my potential clients? And just be curious. Step on the piece of paper, touch the piece of paper, or ask the representative in your mind's eye, what do you want to share? How do you feel? What do you experience? What would be the essence of this bridge? Maybe you see an image, some kind of image. Maybe you get sounds. Maybe you feel something. Maybe your body tells you something. What is the essence of this bridge? And breathe in, breathe out. And how do you relate to the others? Do you relate to the constellation work? How do you relate to the company? How do you relate to the potential clients, ideal clients? And is there a movement in your body? And maybe from this bridge point of view, you have an advice for your company, or maybe for yourself, an advice on how to bridge it, or an advice what to do or not to do. And just assume there is an advice. What would that advice be? And just listen, feel, see what comes to you. Okay, and then I would like you to step off this piece of paper again. And later you can explore it a bit more if you like, but I would like you to finish on your own piece of paper. Realizing that we didn't step on the constellation work, but for now I would like to have you experience just 3 positions. And finish on your own position again, so that you are really back into your own energy. And here you can also take in all the advice, all the information from the others, and see, well, not your own position, your company position, how the company reacts to this. And maybe you can even step next to the company, being yourself, and see how that is, how you feel, and how you react to all the information that came out of this constellation. And maybe you want to make some notes, or maybe a drawing, because I would always say all the information you get is important. So write it down, draw it, and maybe it's not understandable right now, but maybe in a week, or maybe already 2 days, it's you, oh, okay, now I understand what it is. And then to finish it, I always like you to clean up the energy. So thank all the representatives, also in your mind's eye, and then take the papers again and put them on the desk. So we clean up the energy of the room, the energy in your mind. Okay. So this is was like a 10-15 minute process to explore a marketing constellation, a way to help entrepreneurs working with constellations. And that's what I do. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, with teams. I work with corporates, not that many, but sometimes. I work with solopreneurs. I work with coaches, and I call them light workers. But always from a business point of view. So they want to grow their business. They want to solve things in the team. They want HR, as an HR department, want to do things. So it's always to find information, to find solutions, to find how can we make it flow better? How can we unleash the potential which is in our business? And constellations can really help to unleash this potential. And here you can already, and I'm curious to your reactions. You could already sense a bit about the power of just a very small exercise in which you already find the power of the constellations. So how was it for you? Any remarks, any experience that you want to share? Questions that you might have?
I have a question, Aprajita here. While I
Yes.
was doing this, I got confused, or rather, I thought I was standing on the clients. But when I looked at the paper, it was bridge. So is there any significance to that?
Interesting. Is there any significance?
If I interpret it, because I thought I was standing on client, but later when I checked, it was bridge.
Yes.
Is there?
Yes, so the way I look at it, that there's no one truth. And I know people really like to have one truth. So this is what it means, or this is what it means. But the only truth is coming from you because you experienced this. So what does it mean to you that you mixed up the clients with the bridge? Does it make any sense to you? Do you recognize that?
Okay. I will have to deep dive.
Yeah, so just take that in with you and just let it, I always say let it travel with you for a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions?
Martin,
Yes.
I did it a little differently because we have a family business, which is publication actually. And there are three partners, and we have lots of customers. Now, the problem is here the owners. Okay, so instead of the customers, I kept the real owners.
Ah, okay.
And there are some things that are happening because it was started with by my father and with two other. My father is no more. The two other are almost as old as my father were to be supposed to be. So there is this kind of a thing is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized that the bridge happened to be one of the three who are remaining, the two, one of the two.
Ah,
It happened to be that. And I felt that sooner or later that person's time is over. He's
yeah.
not going to be the bridge anymore. And then the whole thing has to be revamped. And the constellation work, the fourth one, I just felt they're the people who are expecting so much, but because of these oldies, things are not happening. And I
Mm,
also felt that this publication company is looking for change.
mm.
And so the solution I got, you know what? Patience. Soon time will come.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing because it's interesting that the solutions or the information is not always like, okay, this is the action plan. We need to do 5 steps here, or
Exactly.
no,
Exactly.
sometimes it's some inner movement we need, or patience, or we need to lay back a little bit, or maybe change something within ourselves.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that's interesting. Yeah, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, or maybe somebody from the team who wants to say something about the training?
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to know more about the program, you can reach out to Tanya or to me. I'll share all the details. We have the dates and exactly what Martijn is going to be doing, the day-wise schedule. We have all of that already ready. And it's already up on our website also. And for today, whoever has come here and has spared this time to be with Martijn and done the process, we have a special spot offer for you all. That is 1,10,000 all inclusive. The early bird price is 1 lakh plus GST, which would come up to 1,18,000. The actual cost of the program is 1,20,000 plus GST. So you really save up on a lot if you block your seats today. So please reach out to me again or Tanya if you want to avail of this spot offer. You'll need to give a booking amount, and then we'll discuss the rest of the payment. So yes, Martijn, you would like to say something?
Yeah, I would like to also do an offer for all of you. That's you get my book, the English e-version of the book, The Effortless Entrepreneur, for free. So that's what I would like to offer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Superb. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. So I think we'll allow Martijn a short break before he starts with the 8 o'clock webinar, and we'll